Do not panic if you, like I, didn't exactly pay attention in physics class. Perhaps you're wondering, what exactly does physics have to do with the Bible, and specifically me? Because the Bible, if you will, is a book of physics, in that when we open up the New Testament, we see centripetal force. Don't worry, I had to look it up too. Centripetal force, it's when everything gets pushed to the center. The force that moves everything to a point is centripetal force, and that's precisely what we see in the opening of Matthew. Jesus begins his ministry in the nation of Israel, traveling around Galilee, but he's moving, inexorably moving toward a point, Jerusalem, specifically a cross. The entire New Testament drives toward Jerusalem, drives toward the central event in human history. Jesus is moving toward Jerusalem. He arrives, he's crucified, he rises from the dead, and all of a sudden, the laws of biblical physics change. And we see a movement from centripetal to centrifugal. Centrifugal force. It moves things out, and that's what we see after the cross. We are to be going and making disciples. The redemptive work of Jesus has been finished on the cross. That point was reached, and now he sends us out centrifugally, I don't know if that's an adverb or not, to make disciples. Recently, Art Azurdia at the Shepherd's Conference, he teaches homiletics at Western Seminary, superfine preacher, a man who is passionate on, even at times, convicting us to stop huddling together, to stop enjoying the things of the world as if they're the end-all, be-all, and become centrifugal Christians.
Life has not been given to you as an experiment in self-indulgence. The pursuit of bigger houses and faster cars and more shapely bodies and more exotic vacations and more exhilarating sex. You are here for the accomplishment of a mission as binding upon you as it was for those original 11 men. So that while we do not seek to perpetuate the apostolic office in its foundational prominence, we do seek to perpetuate the apostolic mission in its enduring significance.
Does that mean we never enjoy a fine meal, good company, a vacation? Nope. He didn't say that at all. But he did say that if you and I are going to follow the physics of the Bible, we are not going to stay huddled together, simply indulging. Instead, we are going to go, because that is the agenda of our captain.
Advance the cause of right-wing politics. Advance the homeschooling agenda. Shut down all the Planned Parenthood clinics. Clean up the elementary school playgrounds in your neighborhood. Listen now, all of which are fine things for a person to engage in as a Christian individual. But none of these reflect the agenda assigned to us by the Lord, who has determined our principal means of influence as the church.
Did you catch that list? Were you maybe burned a bit by that list? Good activities, fine activities, getting involved politically, working on the homeschool movement. What? Being pro-life, and perhaps even going out to abortion clinics to try to keep women from killing their babies. All good. And each Christian can individually determine if they are going to engage in those activities. And Art Azurdia was not saying they're bad, you can't do them. But what he is saying is, we have not been given that mandate from Jesus. We have been given a clear directive to go and to make disciples and to engage our culture. Is it possible, just asking, is it possible that you have fallen into one of two cultural ditches? One cultural ditch is cultural anorexia. The other ditch, however, gulp, is cultural gluttony.
You say cultural gluttony, what's that? Gorging on the world, binging on the world, gluttonizing on the world, often cloaked in the guise of wanting to win the world and legitimized by the use of terms like contextualization. These are Christians and congregations who seek to become just like the world. To the end, conversion occurs in reverse. The world's values, the world's objectives, the world's attitudes become our values and our objectives and our attitudes. But my dear brothers, have you figured it out yet? Those who seek to become like the world end up like the world, except they are not liked by the world because the world recognizes the hypocrisy. We are called to be the salt of the earth, not its sugar.
You examine you, I examine me. You think about your church, I'll think about mine. Is it possible you've fallen into the ditch of cultural gluttony? Art didn't dig down into the layers of that, but I'm gonna. I think we can be cultural gluttons in a lot of ways. We can just live for the weekend. We're lover boy, or was that Cheap Trick? Just working for the weekend. Can't wait to get over hump day so that I can enjoy fun this weekend. That could be cultural gluttony. If you're waking up every morning to go, 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 to make, so you can buy, and consume, you are a cultural glutton. This is not to suggest a Christian man or woman can't make a lot of money. It's when we're living for those things so that we can partake of those things because we enjoy those things so much. That is cultural gluttony, and it takes us off our mission. However, cultural anorexia, you might be thinking, I'm not even sure what that is, and even when I hear the definition, I don't think I'm going to qualify for it. Not so fast. Next on Wretched.